This is another Disney podcast production.
Season's greetings, everyone. I missed you so much last week. I should say we missed you so much last week.
Yeah, we did.
I was under the weather. The whole family was under the weather. We have pushed through. Thanksgiving was a blur. We missed some birthdays, but we're still here. Anyway, no one cares about that, just that we're alive and still here. And so we have an awesome show for you this week. And we're counting down a couple of big things here, Brandon. One, obviously, we're counting down the year. Right? I mean, that's
year's almost over.
Full into Christmas season. Because when will this launch? This episode will air.
This will be the 10th. So it'll be 2 weeks until Christmas Eve.
Yeah, 2 weeks to Christmas Eve. And then our other big thing is that's like a week after that is our 1 year anniversary. We have the biggest, best show planned that you could possibly imagine for our 1 year anniversary. Should I tell them the truth?
No.
Okay.
No. Let them hope.
Let them think. I can't do it. The truth is, that's the first time we've talked about our 1 year anniversary. So if you think we got something planned, negative.
I didn't even know. I wasn't here for the very beginning.
I know.
So
we're gonna have to go back and look at your
it
anniversary so we can celebrate that too. But yeah, ADP will be 1 year old. Which that's low crazy. Expectations, right? We're only one. We can barely talk. We can move. We're still in diapers. Low bar. We're going to set the bar really low.
Set the bar super low for sure.
I love it. Well, good to see you. It has been too long.
It feels like it's been a month.
I know. It was quite the craziness with the OG holiday, the Thanksgiving. You know, like people still celebrate that. Like it's like it's in your neck of the woods. It's Halloween and Christmas.
Yeah. We don't have Thanksgiving here.
No, they don't really do that at the wonderful world of color. I don't know. This is what I wanted to go with. Hey, Brandon had a fantastic show idea that we're going to do next week.
So that will be, you'll have to just wait and see. That'll be our fantastic 1 year anniversary show.
3 weeks early. It'll be perfect.
3 weeks early. Yeah, whatever. Whatever.
No one's counting.
But yeah.
No, it is really good. I'm glad we're going to talk about it. But I had this idea. I was like, well, what if we did this? And you were like, O-L-O. There was in your text. There
was a random L in there, and I got to be honest, I didn't care enough to erase the whole thing and type it again.
We're family. No one cares. Right. And so I hoped by your remark / extra character that was a good idea to move this. And at first I had 5, right? Because I don't know, we love to put numbers on things. 5 of this. And then you started rambling off some stuff and I was like, we just need to take the number away and we'll just do as many as we do. So I think this is perfect timing. So again, this will launch on the 10th of December of the year of our Lord 2021. And so here's what we decided to talk about. We wanted to talk about things that we did for the last time ever at Walt Disney World in 2021. That sounds like fun, right?
It sounds like fun, but it also sounds very sad.
Yeah.
Things we did that we'll never do again at Disney World. Ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great idea though. I love it.
Some aren't that big. Some are kind of stretches. Some are meant to be funny, but they're all true in theory, right? We don't imagine.
All true.
One of them that has to do with, no, I'm not even going to go there. I'm just going to let us just jump in. All right. Why don't you lead us off with the first one?
Yes. So you sent me this text and I started thinking about what will we never do again? And this one came to me right away. It was super obvious. As we all know, the wonderful free service that we all have enjoyed when we've gone to Walt Disney World, when we've landed at Orlando International Airport, and you've gone and started the magic right away. Disney's Magical Express is sunsetting. There's only 3 more weeks of Disney's Magical Express, the free service provided by Walt Disney World. It is moving to Mears Transportation. Now, Mears Transportation is going to do the same thing. It's just going to cost you money. It's no longer going to be free. So if you didn't come this year, you'll never see Disney's Magical Express again.
It's gone bye-bye. It's one of the things that are gone. I mean, overall, it was something we utilized many times coming into MCO and staying for our trips. I remember the first time we came with our daughter, we did it. I think the first time we came with y'all, we actually... Didn't we ride on the bus together? Weren't we?
We did.
Like, we planned our flights around landing at the same time and everything. So yeah, it was. And then this last time when Matthew and I came for the 50th, that was the last time I got to experience it. So I was excited to have done it. But it's, as you said, the sun is setting. The hours are literally counting down. So here's my question:
are counting down.
Mears has always done this, right? Or at least the contract for the last several years has certainly been Mears. Do you think, obviously, the branding has to go off all the I mean, I guess they're just going to rewrap them with whatever Mears branding, right? I mean, certainly they don't want to confuse people.
I think they're just going to look like regular buses. And you've seen this more and more. We saw it for the 50th, like the contracted charter buses that were getting us to and from the park on the 50th. I mean, they're just regular buses. There's nothing Disney about them. I don't know. I think it's just called Mears Transportation. So I don't know that there's a catchy name for it. Right. I don't know that there's going to be any kind of branding for it. I would hope that in some way it indicates that those buses are going to Disney, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I'm kind of sad to see it go, though. I mean, there was something magical about landing. And then, when it first started, it was super magical, right? You put your bags on the conveyor belt at your home airport. You never saw them again until you got to your room. Now, as the pandemic went on and things happened, it morphed a little bit. Like you had to go get your bag when you got to Orlando and you had to bring it to the bus, and then they still took it there, but then you took it off and you took it to your room. So it got a little less magical, but I live here now, so I really don't need to utilize it, but it's sad. It was something magical about just hopping on the bus. The video that played on the bus was always made you happy, and then on the Tragical Express on the way back, it always made the video always made you sad. So it'll be interested to see. I'll be interested to see, once the first of the year comes around, what people have to say about it. I know there's going to be 2 tiers as far as the Mears transportation is. There's like a standard and a advanced or superior. Deluxe? And I think it's just real deluxe. Maybe it just has to do with how fast you leave the airport and how many stops you make on the way to your destination. So it'll be interesting to see how it is. I mean, are full details out about this service or no? I think it came out with the 2 tiers and then it told you about the pricing, but I don't think anything beyond that has been announced. Well, I hope that, obviously they can't brand everything Disney, right? But I hope that it's kind of special in some way. Like, their colors aren't it's like Bumblebee from Transformers. So the yellow and black is not the greatest color scheme that they've got, and certainly doesn't feel Disney or magical. So I'm hoping that there'll be some way to set it apart. I don't know. Spent way too much time on it. One thing I did see is like when you buy it, you get a arrival gift, it said. So maybe that'll be something Disney related that you only get if you use this transportation service. Cool. Yeah. So that'd be kind of cool, but I think a little bit of the magic's going to go away when you just get on a regular charter bus and you're shuttled around like cattle. I will say the one that we got to take for the O-Dark 30 ride from Pop Century to the Magic Kingdom on the day of the 50th, that bus was fire. It was really nice. It was super legit because they didn't put anybody in the back like 6 rows with us. So we're just taking a nap, laying out in the back of the bus while everybody's all jammed in the front. So that was fire. 36,000 people waiting in line, and he counts me and he was like, "You're the last bus out of Vietnam." And we climbing on like, "Brandon, there's 12 empty seats back here." He shuts the door, we pull off. I'm like, not complaining. It was great. It was great. All right, we're going to stick with transportation. This is more meant to be funny because it's finally returning, but no more of the
horrific walks from the parking lots of your favorite Walt Disney World theme park and to the entrance. So the trams have not existed at all since COVID, and they are finally coming back. I know you've probably paid more attention to the news than I have. What is the date for that?
I think it's the middle of January, and I also think it's only for Magic Kingdom. I don't think it's for any of the other parks. I think it's only. I could be wrong, but I think the last thing I saw was only for Magic Kingdom. And I tell you, this when December, when Thanksgiving ended and the holiday season kicked off, driving past the parking lot for Magic Kingdom, it looks like a normal day. Like it looks like the parking lot is full to pre-pandemic levels. So I felt super bad for people who parked in those third and fourth parking lots that had to walk all the way to the park. So, I mean, all the other parks, really, it's not a huge deal to park and walk into the park, but Magic Kingdom, they definitely need to bring it back. So
I would say there's something about Animal Kingdom that sucks if you have to park for it. It just feels like it's forever to get to the entrance. But
yeah. I mean, if you could park on the right side of Animal Kingdom, I think it's like
so much better.
It's great over there. But if you got to go over to Dinosaur, then you got to walk.
Yeah. And Epcot is a massive parking lot, but it's hardly ever full. If they make you park over there in Wonder and those, where they usually have the starting line of the race, that's where you need a tram. But I think, at least right now, I think it's only coming back to Magic Kingdom. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Did not know that. All right.
Yes.
That's what happens when you're sick and don't pay attention to Disney news for like 2 weeks.
So the next one that I had, and this one, we've talked about this on the show before, and we know how I love nighttime spectaculars, and we know in particular how much I loved this nighttime spectacular. Things we will never see again after 2021. We will never see Happily Ever After again.
Bye-bye, Donnie.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye Happily Ever After. And I watch Enchantment at least 3 nights a week from the backyard. I play the music. It's not the same.
Right.
So this one makes me super sad. So we will not see Happily Ever After anymore, and we will not see Epcot forever.
Wait, but it's forever. I'm confused.
It's Epcot not forever, but we'll never see it again, ever.
The sun has set on those two, one beautiful show and the other one. I mean, it was cool. I will say Epcot Forever version 2 was definitely better than the original one, but we saw it pretty early on and I was like, oh gosh, it was, if you missed it, I mean, it didn't change that much, but if you did miss it, it was very, I can show you the world. So it was a lot of Aladdin.
There was a whole bunch of Aladdin in Epcot, which made not a lot of sense. Not a lot of sense.
So the sun is set on at least one massive show that was for sure a fan favorite. I remember when I just loved Wishes. I mean, that's what happens when it runs for like 20 plus years. And I was devastated when this came, and I was like immediately fell in love with Happily Ever After as somebody who was a massive Wishes fan. I did not experience that same feeling on the 50th when we started the new show after we said goodbye to Happily Ever After. So I know you've seen it a couple more times and you get to experience, but I've seen it once and I'm like, it's definitely for me one that, it is now turned into, it's a great time to catch attractions that are typically busy. Like that's how I will utilize it moving forward.
Yeah. And like we talk about, I love fireworks. So I would be happy to watch that show from somewhere else in the park. Like if I'm back by Splash Mountain and Big Thunder Mountain, like I'll stop there and watch the fireworks. But this is not one that I feel like I need to cram into Main Street and be in the hub and look at the castle. I don't care. It sounds bad. I just don't. We had friends in town last week and they were at the Magic Kingdom and they were like, "You coming over for the fireworks?" And we were like, "Nope."
But you guys can come over for the fireworks.
We're just not gonna fight the crowds to see a mediocre show. That's it. I'll watch it from the California Grill, though. We're going there again. When you guys hear this, we are going tonight. So we're going on Friday.
Nice.
So
with friends, or is it just the two
actually, my boss wanted to experience the grill. So
great.
We're heading over there with him. So it should be a fun time. But I'll watch it any day from there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah.
From the comfort of your seat and air conditioning and
correct
piped in music. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Another kind of, I would say this is kind of a big one, and that is the Jungle Cruise that we've all known and love does not exist anymore after this year. I mean, obviously major changes have already happened. They've tweaked the story a bit. They've made it much more inclusive. They've gotten rid of some of the crude, I don't know. I mean, it was part of the times. We'll just call it that. It was part of the time. But some of the crude animatronics that they had that represented whether it have the natives or that type of stuff, and they've made our favorite rhinoceros up the pole scene with much more inclusive and diverse with people, I guess is the best way to say it. And I'm in love with this new story. This is a change to me that I was excited about. I love that there's so much steep history with this ride and this story. And then of course, we're big fans of the Skipper Canteen, which that whole story is in there, and you can see her piece of the story and and her dad and all. I guess it's just a really cool way to kind of write this whole thing that they've just kind of made up, and now they've kind of changed the narrative a little bit. But yeah, the OG ride of the Jungle Cruise is no longer. It's just all different and new now.
Yeah.
That is something else that we say goodbye to. We'll never experience the same way that we did before.
Yeah.
After this year. So yeah.
And going along with that, we will not experience after this year. We'll never experience Trader Sam's Grotto the same either. They redid all the theming in there at the Polynesian when it reopened. It's not hugely noticeably different. We were there this weekend when we did the Christmas tour. So we went to all the monorail resorts and checked out their Christmas decorations and had a adult beverage at each one and had a really good time. It's not hugely noticeable, but for a Disney fan and a fan of the original, idea and the original decor in that place, after this year, it won't ever be the same. So kind of going along with the OG Jungle Cruise, Trader Sam's Grotto.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, that one was a little off script.
That was good.
I just thought of
throw it in there. I forgot because there was changes, like where he was in, like there was like a little store right within, and that's gone, right?
Yep. That is not there anymore. So, rest in peace, original Grotto.
There it is.
There we go. So, moving on to another one of our favorite parks. We'll move over to Epcot.
Yes.
The thing that I can't say that I'm going to miss this one because I super love what they've done now. And I hope it stays. Even after the 18 months, I hope that this stays on Spaceship Earth forever because it's amazing. And it can be tailored to anything. Right now, they have a holiday show on Spaceship Earth, which is amazing. There's 4 different shows. It's epic. But we will probably never see after this year the original classic lighting on Spaceship Earth.
Yeah.
The classic, purple into orange into blue fade to the top. The one that has all the classic pictures. You have thousands of them on your cell phone and your My Disney Experience app. You have all those pictures. That lighting scheme is probably gone after 2021.
Yeah. The new beacons of light that they've added to that, I think, to me is the best. It's my favorite by far. It transformed what that thing can do at night. And what's cool is, like, during the daytime, you can't even tell. So, like, I love when you can make such a minimal difference to the overall, like, look and feel of something during the day, and then at night it's completely transformed, and it's a highlight leaving Epcot for sure.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, and it always was. Everybody always stopped and got that, shot at night, whether you're waiting for a photo pass photographer or not. It was always a must stop and at least turn around and gawk. But now it's It's impressive. It's one of the best things I think that they added for the 50th, for sure.
Yeah, and I would definitely drive. I would drive to Epcot Park, walk in, and sit there and watch that for 45 minutes and leave. Like, I would be perfectly happy to do that because I love it so much. So I'm glad that they changed it, and I hope it stays forever.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. Okay, all right, so let's recap. So we're going through things that we did for the last time in 2021 at Walt Disney World, and that is the Magical Express. The trams coming back at least to Magic Kingdom. Some sunsetting on our Happily Ever After and Epcot Forever, and riding our OG version of the Jungle Cruise and the I never remember the name of that bar.
Trader Sam's Grog Grotto.
There it is. Too many It's so gregarious. I don't know what that means. And then we skipped one, and so that's why I go back through my lists because I forget.
Oh yeah,
and so let's hang out still at Epcot, and that is, it's always a battle for me of my favorite park between Magic Kingdom and Epcot, and so I just think that, you know, there's so many childhood memories tied to that, and then memories with my children that obviously they're still young enough at the age where Magic Kingdom is the winner chicken dinner when it comes to their favorite parks. But I've always loved Epcot. I loved Epcot when it opened. I loved the whole old school learning like pieces of it, and I loved the Horizons, and I mean just all of the Kitchen Cabaret, all of that stuff. I just remember going that and seeing all that when I was growing up, and I loved that it was, which is weird. Like, who thinks like, yes, it's so awesome, I'm learning things, but I don't know. I was drawn to it. Well, we all know that it kind of stuck around and it stayed, I don't know, 30 years too long, 15 years too long to say. But Future World, as we knew it, ceased to exist in 2021. So there's no more walking through Future World where you go around Spaceship Earth and then you get there and you've got the big fountain in the middle that sometimes had music set to it, and it was going in a little bit of Bellagio for you. And then, you know, kind of enter your gateway to the world. But I really loved that area, and that is something that's gone. You know, there's no more really Future World when they introduced the neighborhoods, and so that is something that is now gone forever. That this was I don't know, I feel like construction's been going on there longer than 2021, but we're going to throw it in there because that's all we've ever known of Epcot, right? I mean, that's something that's always been there. So yeah, a walk through Future World, that's the sun has set, and it is now construction zone for 27 years. Yeah.
And now it takes twice as long to get anywhere.
Yes.
And that's why we now love entering from the International Gateway from the back of the park.
Yes.
Because, you know, there's not a lot up front. You got Nemo, you got Soarin', you got Test Track, you got the Vomit. What's that thing called? The Vomit Cycle, Mission Space. You got that thing. But I mean, 9 times out of 10 when you're heading to Epcot, you're going to the World Showcase. Yeah. So it just
or the Vomit Cycle.
Super long to go through all the rat maze wall to get around there. So I will love when they open Moana Journey of Water. I hope you can walk completely through it to get to World Showcase like before. But yes, rest in peace, Future World.
Yeah. I mean, I will say the only benefit that has come from this insane construction project is that as you walk through the entrance of Epcot, and then you can veer right and do that shortcut over to the land and the seas, that by far has been the best thing that's come out of this. And I hope that path, I can't imagine it's going to go anywhere, but I hope it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, that's definitely, if you're trying to get to the land pavilion, that's definitely a huge help, because on the other side, you used to have to walk around Spaceship Earth, go all the way to the middle of Future World, take a right and go over there. So I do love that path. Hope it stays forever. I agree.
Yeah. Hey man, you can double up these next two since they're food. Let's do it.
Yes. What are you trying to say? You saying like food is like with my svelte figure that I should double the food?
Yes.
It's messed up.
And I'm
It's
hungry.
messed
Like
up.
I want to eat at both of these places.
Well, unfortunately, you can't anymore because they went away in 2021. No longer do we have the wave of American flavors at the Contemporary Resort. That has been replaced by Steakhouse 71. I hear great things about it. No, I haven't been there. I've walked by it. They have awesome art hanging in the
they do.
lobby and the hallway to get into the restaurant, but I haven't been there anymore, so can't eat at the Wave of American Flavors anymore. And then the one that I know truly breaks your heart because, as we've talked about, this was a staple in your family when you went to Epcot. The electric
Fine American cuisine.
Fine American reheated hamburgers and chicken tenders and fries, but you can no longer eat at the Electric Umbrella. That is gone,
yes,
due to be replaced by some generic named gathering place, I think it's called.
The Creations Gathering Creation Restaurant place.
Where people can't gather.
That's right.
But yeah, those two are gone. We've kissed them goodbye in 2021. The Wave of American Flavors, we waved goodbye to you. And the Electric Umbrella blew away in the store.
Everyone in the world is like, wait, the Electric Umbrella? Yes, I was the only one that went to Epcot and ate there out of just pure convenience.
Yeah, some people were probably like, the electric... Oh, sorry. I think I froze.
You did, which makes it even funnier.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, someone called my phone while I'm taping on it. So the joys of live taping. Yes. But yes, the Electric Umbrella. I never ate there, so I don't know if it was even good.
Man, what food you were missing? I mean, it's funny. There are things we need to do. We need to do a show one time where we just talk about like the best drink places, like non-alcoholic. I should probably preface that better. Like, and that was one of the, like, I always liked to choose quick service places where you could refill your own cups.
Yeah.
So like we need to do a show just about that. And so that was one of the places that did that. And so that was one of the reasons that I always loved going there is, you know, it's 800,000 degrees outside. I could drink all of my Coke Zero and then right before we leave, fill it up with like ice cold water and then head out into the wilderness of Future World, which doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. I mean, so there you go. Electric Umbrella. If you missed it, Brandon, like, I'm sorry, man. We'll I'll find some videos and send them your way.
I'm gonna have to go back in time and find out. Most people listening are like, I thought the Electric Umbrella left in like 2006.
Oh no, it was still alive and well. No one went over there because Mouse Gears was closed. Oh boy. Okay. This next one is kind of a big deal, I think. And we'll see what happens. And you actually are the one that added this to the list, and that is like standing next to and hugging and taking pictures with cast members and characters. Like that is something that I don't know that we saw that at all in 2021, but I mean, the sun is setting on 2021. We're going with it. It just, cause it's not here. Now I know it's coming back or has already come back in an altered state. So I'm glad that you can at least be around them. And then it's a little bit better than Winnie the Pooh way out in the field catching butterflies. So it's a little bit more strategery and planning that are involved. And I know that Mickey's coming back right there on Main Street. And what is it? It's in the building has Tony's Town Square.
In the theater, like Mickey's Town Square Theater. It's just now you have to take your own picture. You have to take a selfie with the character. Hopefully we haven't seen the last of traditional character interactions. I can't see them coming back in 22, but hopefully we haven't seen the end of them. Cause I mean, that's always special, even when you're an adult, like, who doesn't love going to get their picture, like putting their arm around Mickey and giving thumbs up and like, who doesn't love to do that? So hopefully we haven't truly seen the end of that, but
I know it'll be
sunset.
The biggest thing that we need, and I don't mean to get all like scientific or whatever, but is we need to hope as a world that COVID turns into an endemic thing, which means basically like it's something that comes all the time. It will be in a flu-like state.
It's
I'm
like
not
the flu.
comparing it to the flu because it is clearly, but this, as scary as this Omicron variant sounded, so far it's really good as far as mild symptoms so far, and so I've read a few articles as like, hey, this could be a giant step closer to this becoming an endemic. Now I do want to say this, not to get all like weirdly about this, but an endemic is good for like Western culture. It's not so great for third world countries because they just don't have the resources that we have. So as much as that would be a great thing for Western culture, like an endemic typically doesn't do very well, unfortunately, in third world countries. And you're welcome for bringing this show completely down. I have no idea why we went in this direction.
Thanks for joining us this evening.
Yes.
And
everyone is dying. We'll see you later.
They're never listening again.
But yeah, so that is what, our, I guess, for as dark as it may sound, that's a goal that I think we need, for things to go back to somewhat of a pre-pandemic state. Is that a safe way of saying it? But yeah, so but I'm with you. I don't expect it anytime soon. Don't expect it anytime soon.
Yeah, so we can feel like that sunsetted in 2021 because
we can do that.
I mean, I don't know that it ever really came back in 2021, but I personally, from March of 2020 until now is all 1 year. Like it doesn't matter what the it doesn't matter what the calendar said. It was one period of time because everything was the same throughout that period of time. So,
but Brandon, I had 3 birthdays. Well, you should have stopped counting.
Well, you should have stopped counting. You had 1 birthday, so you're really only like 45.
Perfect. I'll take it.
Perfect.
That's the only bonus from this chaos. All right, what do we got next?
So the next one we have, and I have mixed feelings about this because I love them, but I don't really see the point of them now that they have the app. But we have sunset the free Magic Band period of your Walt Disney World vacation. Mm-hmm. So for those of you who have been to Walt Disney World or who had been there before, that when you stayed on property, you had the option to go on and select a Magic Band of the primary colors. They were free. You could get an orange or green or red or purple or a blue, I think, and those came free. And you could always tell the people who didn't plan because they always had a gray one. But the days of free Magic Bands are gone as of 2021. You can still get Magic Bands. As we'll talk about probably in a later show, there's a more expensive Magic Band coming because they're not going away totally, but you can no longer get them free. They're super cheap. The basic ones, I think, are $5.
Something like that.
When you spend $10,000 to come to Disney, I think you could spend another $25 for a couple Magic Bands, but the free ones are gone, and people were up in arms about it and freaking out about it, but there's an app on your phone now.
That's right.
Everybody has an Apple Watch. You don't need a Magic Band anymore.
Right. Change is
But we
hard.
are seeing the sunset of traditional Magic Bands in 2021.
Gone and they'll be sticking around, but the Magic Band, what is it? Plus. Yeah,
Yep.
that'd be interesting to see. I feel like that could turn into some crazy cool what they could do with that. I think it should turn into an Apple Watch and it should have like a legit screen on it, and Mickey should do
like it should morph on your arm into an Apple Watch.
No,
or
but
they
like
should design one that's an Apple Watch.
Yeah, no, design it like an Apple Watch, right? That it's interactive and it can send you messages and. Yeah, I think it's going to be more than 50. What is it going to be, like $50? I guess
something like that.
I guess now we're in the
$49.99 maybe
$350 range now. I think the way I'm talking.
Yeah,
my bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have one more, an honorable mention that Brandon brought to the table, which I was like, yeah, we should mention it because again, this did not happen in the fiscal year of 2021, but that is gone forever. Are the beloved and free Fast Pass. We will never see that again because they have found a way to make money off of it.
Nope.
This is not a surprise. This is not a pandemic thing. The pandemic may have sped up the process, but we knew I can remember rumblings and rumors of 5 years ago talking about Fast Pass is going to be paid, or Fast Pass is only going to be for people staying on property, or all of this kind of stuff. And so this was not a surprise, but I definitely think they found a way to speed up dropping this hammer that is now known as the lightning lane on everybody. So again, not a 2021 thing, but we thought it was worth mentioning it because that's something that you won't experience after 2021. Nope. That's still true.
Nope. You will not experience it, and some people loved it, the fact that they were going away, because a lot of people think that Disney, like coming to Disney now, is too planned, and you have your spontaneous people and you have your planner people. But if you have to go to a Disney park for the day and you have to continuously be like, all right, guys, let's gather all 10 of us around. Yeah. What ride do we want to ride now? And then you take 20 minutes for everybody to agree what ride you're going to ride.
That's true.
So a lot of people were happy that the Fast Passes went away. Now we have Lightning Lane, and people are not happy about the availability or the lack of availability ride wise for that. So it just, if you like to plan your vacation, they're great tools. If you like to be spontaneous, you're just going to stand in line a lot. That's all. Yeah,
it is definitely different. So that's kind of the first portion. I did want to talk about one news story, but there you have it. A multitude of things that we will not experience after the sun sets on 2021. So good stuff. It was a good list.
Yeah, that's a great list.
Good things. There are several more for sure. We just picked out ones.
There's definitely plenty. These are the ones that we experience the most, right? Because it's mostly park stuff, and that's where we hang out when we go to Disney. So these are the ones that make us sad, except for the walking from the back of the parking lot at Magic Kingdom.
Yes.
That one doesn't make me so sad.
No, not anymore. And that is the one thing that I wanted to talk about was just I don't have a lot to say about it, but yesterday, how do I not get too nerdy or techie? Okay, so Amazon Web Services, you probably see AWS a lot. They are responsible for a lot of companies being able to be online. And when I say companies, I mean major companies. One of those is the Disney company, and they went down with several other big companies. But obviously we live in the world of Disney, and that was a big, it was on our group text feed that we were chatting about it a little bit yesterday. And I just thought it was just interesting to bring up of just how, love Amazon or not, love them or hate them, they certainly do a lot more than just your packages. And I think a lot of people probably found out for the first time that, wait, Amazon has something to do with like this company's website and like the fact that they can be online. Yeah. And it's a lot more. And so it brought up, I think I put in our text feed yesterday, I was like, it's a little scary. Like you could literally end the world if you could take down Amazon. There's a lot that they touch.
Yeah. And I mean, it's scary that one company controls that much of the world. A lot of stuff in the United States. I mean, Netflix and Venmo and Disney Plus and a lot of these places were down, and then people don't realize like how much stuff was affected at Disney World itself. Right. You couldn't get on the app, you couldn't book any trips, you couldn't mobile order, you couldn't pay with a credit card. Right. Like I almost wanted to be in the park yesterday to be like, what do people do?
What is this like? Yeah.
Like the lightning lane that all these people paid for yesterday would not have worked. Like it would have been amazing to see. I would have loved to just be there to see how it worked. Like how many people bring cash to Disney World?
Right.
Not many. So
I mean, just to
I
list
agree. It's interesting to see exactly what was affected by it, and
I mean,
like we talked about in our chat, like you would think Disney would have their own sort of system.
Yeah, it's mine. But and so why I wanted to bring this up is I think this is another thing that companies like Disney have to sit back down at the table and figure out a strategy. I mean, what if this would have been a like 48, 72 hour thing that wasn't resolved? Like, how are people functioning for that long at a theme park on their vacation without access to, like, how are goods and services transacting? Like, you know, like, it's just interesting that, like, there's got to be some type of backup plan that, I mean, I know it was, I don't even know how long it was. I know it was hours. I mean, it wasn't insane.
Yeah, I think it came on yesterday afternoon.
Right.
I mean, at least if parks open at, 8, they had at least 8 or 9 hours.
Right. Yeah.
Downtime.
That's a full workday. So it was just not that I was going to go anywhere with this discussion. I just thought it was kind of like it definitely had to have been we have to look at this moment for a lot of these big companies. I mean, you're talking, not that these are big companies to us, but like, gosh, there was, let's see, who all was it? Like Tender, like Roku.
I couldn't swipe left yesterday. It made me angry.
Coinbase, Cash App, Venmo. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. And then, of course, we are an Apple household for sure, but we also have, there's a 10-inch ALEXA screen right there. We have a 5-inch one in the kitchen. We have another one in the bedroom. We have a Ring on the front door. We have a Blink looking at the back sheds in the backyard. I mean, like, all of this is Alexa and Amazon services. Like, it just is. And so, I mean, I didn't really affect us or what we were doing yesterday, but yeah, it was just a little mind blowing.
Anyone could have robbed you and stolen all of your stuff yesterday.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know where to go with that other than like, this is worth talking about because I think a company as big as Disney has to have, if it was 8 hours today, who's to say that it's not 72 hours the next time, right? And that's, that is people that are, you're right. Like we are, I know you guys are a little bit ish, but we did the Dave Ramsey like lifestyle change to get out of debt. And so we still do cash quite a bit because we feel that it hurts when it leaves our hands, but like it's not a lot. Like we'll do cash for gas. We do cash for groceries, but like when I go to Disney, no, I don't bring cash. Like, because to me, I'd be worried about like, I'm pulling my phone out of my pocket and I drop there it all goes. Cause I have the like teeny tiny wallet like that
you
goes
would
in the back of your
never
phone.
Ever lose your wallet at Disney ever.
No. How many times has it happened? Who knows? Anyway, the weird end of the show, I guess, but I thought that was worth bringing up.
It's definitely worth bringing up. I hope it doesn't happen again. I hope they have a better backup plan. But hey, maybe we'll see Disney using Amazon Web Services sunset in 2021.
Yes, that'll be on our list a year from now. I love it. I love it. Hey, well, let's give them a sneak peek of next week. So next week we wanted to talk about, as we're wrapping the year, we wanted to kind of highlight a couple of things that have, launched in the last quarter with the 50th, but we really want to focus on if you're going on your Walt Disney World vacation within the first like 3 months of 2022, what can you expect, right? There's still some attractions and rides and walk-through attractions that are not open yet. And so we wanted to kind of look at the timeline, look at some construction and see where Disney is and talk about what to expect transitioning into 2022 and what the beginning of the year looks like, and maybe even speculate what the crowds might be like as we move back into warmer weather. So, we've got some things we haven't talked about, like the Star Wars Galactic Cruiser. So just a couple of things to talk about, like what does early 2022 look like? So I think we're going to chat a little bit about that next week. It was a good tap.
We're going to take a little look back and a little look forward.
Yeah. Can't beat that. And then we'll have to figure out something fun for our 1 year anniversary.
We'll just do Disney trivia with each other, and if you get it wrong, you just have to take a shot.
Oh, maybe we'll have some past guests come on and join us.
That would be kind of fun just to bring people back from the first year.
That'd be good. Like Matthew, remember him?
Yeah, who's that guy?
Oh boy, Brandon, it was so good to hear your voice and see your face.
Yes, so good to see you.
February can't. I know I'll see you in a week, but February can't get here soon enough. That's the next time I'm going to visit my friend in Florida, and I cannot wait to spend some days.
I cannot wait
together.
Either. Yes.
Okay. Well, until
all right, buddy.
Next week.
Until next week.
Toodles.
Toodaloo.